Alright, so 4 weeks ago I was doing a 2-day training course for work. They supplied lots of snacks, free cans of Coke, it was great. By the second day, I knew something was wrong. I had to pee every 5-10 minutes. It was pretty intense. I had this intense thirst that I just couldn't deal with. Went to my pharmacist and they tested my blood sugar levels. Came in at 29.5 mmOLs. Pharmacist comes in the room, he's like, mate, how thirsty are you? I'm like, mate, I'm really thirsty. He's like, yeah, that's because you've got diabetes. I'm like, yeah. I kind of, in the back of my mind, expected that answer because I had a lot of unexplained weight loss and I had been getting increasingly thirsty and needing to pee a lot over the last maybe 3 months. Well, long story short, next day the blood tests come back and I've actually got type 1 diabetes. So I've been thrust into the world of that. I honestly didn't know you could get type 1 as an adult. I thought that's something that occurs as a kid and that you just carry on for the rest of your life. But this is going to be me documenting my entrance into the diabetes world. Thank you. Alright, 4 weeks since I found out that I have type 1 diabetes, and honestly I don't know how people who are born and get it as children deal with it their entire lives. It's crazy, but what I've learnt is most people do not understand the difference between type 1 diabetes and type 2. I've learnt so much over the last 4 weeks, and by no means do I consider myself an expert, but I had completely wrong understanding of what diabetes was before I got diabetes, and that has changed. The amount of people telling me that I can't eat sugar and I need to do this and that, or worried that I'm gonna pass out if I have a lolly. Having to explain to people that type 1 is an autoimmune reaction and it's damage to your pancreas, not from eating too much sugar previously or being unfit. It's a real eye-opener, and only 4 weeks in, and for everyone out there who has been dealing with it a lot longer, well done. It's a difficult process to learn, to adapt to, get those levels right and take the right shots. But I'm learning and I'm going to get there, and I've been making progress. Alright, 4th week of being a type 1 diabetic. I did 2 weeks of the finger pricking. If you don't know, you prick yourself with a needle, you get a blood glucose strip, you dab a blood on it, and the device tells you your blood sugar levels. Now, I'm pretty nervous at being type 1 and getting my levels right, so I was doing that a lot, maybe 16 times a day, and every time I did it, it was drastically different than the time I did before. So at the moment, while I'm adjusting to my new reality, that wasn't a really viable solution. But I went online and I found this thing here. It's called a Freestyle Libre 2. I signed up with the company and they sent me 2 free kits, and these are blood glucose monitors that connect to your phone and they give you all that information. Now, the Freestyle Libre 2, the one I've got, you implant it into your arm and it will record data for about 3 hours, but anytime you want to check, you can grab your phone, scan the device on your arm, and it will give you your update on your sugar levels. And if it gets too high, it will send a notification to your phone that sets off an alarm, and if it gets too low, it will send you a notification. So the part about this I really like is you don't have to check your levels. It will notify you if something's wrong and you can make the changes prior to having a low or having something too high. I'm going to demonstrate how to put this on and off because it's my time to change it. They only last 2 weeks, and as far as I know, they are a bit expensive, but in Australia, if you're type 1 and under 18, I'm pretty sure you can get them almost next to nothing, and if you've got a concession card, then you can get them for almost next to nothing, and so far I've had a great experience with them. Okay, it's time to take off my Freestyle Libre 2. It's a blood glucose monitor that I have under my armband here. I just keep the armband on it because I do hear sometimes they peel off. I've never done this before. I don't know if it's gonna hurt or what. That is easy. Comes right off. And I'm not sure if you can see this, but there's a small needle there. It's actually a flexible needle. It's quite soft actually. I'm surprised by that. But that's the part that goes in the arm. And this will record data and send you notifications to your phone if you're having a high or a low. And it's a good way to monitor your blood sugar levels. Now, I'm going to put a new one on the back of my arm. I'm ready to install my Libre 2 sensor. I've already cleaned the back of my arm with the alcohol strips. Device into device, you twist, comes out, that's your needle. Now the first time I did this, no, it doesn't hurt. You actually only have to press down a tiny amount and then it's spring loaded and stabs it into your arm. And then just like that, done. New sensor in, barely hurt. And that is good for another 2 weeks. I'm going to go home. You got to leave it an hour to update and connect to your phone. I did notice the first time I used this, for the first day, my levels that this recorded and my levels that my fingerprinting recorded were off. This was slightly slower to update, but after the second day, they were identical. Every time I tested it, I kept testing the last 2 weeks. I kept doing fingerprints, pricks 4 times a day, and I was kept checking my Libre maybe 170 times a day. I'm a bit of obsessive compulsive with that. Every time I do something, I'm like, scan on my phone, oh good, I'm good to go, no worries. So, Freestyle Libre 2 sensor. Don't take my word for it. I'm new to the whole world of being type 1 diabetic. But for someone who's starting up and can't control the levels as good as someone who's been at it for their entire life, if you're really active, I took this thing kayaking, I went down rapids, I'm flying foxes, I wear it in the shower, at work. It's very low profile. I mean, I keep it under a thing here just to keep it, make sure it stays on, doesn't get caught on anything. And yeah, pain-wise, yeah, it hurts when you put it on the first time, but you've got 2 weeks of not needing to prick your finger. That's kind of nice. Hashtag not sponsored. If they want to send me any free ones, because I'm not covered under any concessions, that would be great. Other than that, anyone else who's used these, let me know what you think, because my God, I don't know what I would do if I had to prick my finger so many times, every time, because my levels change so quickly. Final review of the Freestyle Libre 2. It is a great device. I'm new to the world of type 1 diabetes, so I'm not an expert. I do think probably having a medical alert dog would be the best option. I definitely want one. But if you can't have a medical alert dog, then having a Freestyle Libre 2, at the very least, it sends notifications to your phone as it happens. So you're having a low, you're having a high, you know about it from your phone. Your phone will tell you, will send an alarm off, quick, you're having a low, go do this. And it has been a lifesaver. I wore it rafting and kayaking and out camping. And my mistake, I turned my phone on silent, and then I crashed. I had too much insulin and I had a crash, and afterwards I looked at my phone and realized it had been trying to warn me for the last hour. And since then, while at work, my phone will tell me if I'm having a low, which is a lifesaver. It gives me plenty of time to go out and get something to eat before it gets bad, and it's been a good way to adjust to the new reality of being type 1, I guess. If you're in Australia and you're under 18 and you got type 1, it is subsidised. If you've got a concession card, it is. You just have to go to your doctor and ask for a referral for it. I recommend it. I'm going to travel some of Australia in December, and I'm going to be wearing one of these because I'm going to be all over the place and I don't know how great my routine's going to be. And if I'm driving, I want to know well beforehand if I'm going to have a low or a high. So yeah, that's what I think about this.